So good. Welcome to the conversations. We continue with the conversations we've been having for the last month or so here at Youth Generation Impact. Together to continue these conversations, here with me is the chair of Y.G.I, William Kemaya, and Cornelius Opolo, member of Y.G.I, and we are waiting, hopefully, for Agnes Lantoy to join us for this conversation. Today we are talking about we're having the question, does marriages work anymore? Does marriages work anymore? And we shall be talking about what that means in terms of sexuality. And what we don't finish today, we shall pick up during another conversation. So giving a sort of a background, the reason for why we are asking this question is because, of course, you must have heard about the statistics about more abortions happening within marriage than outside of marriages. You've heard about the stories of infidelity. You've heard the stories of, or maybe you've also witnessed the marriage of someone close to you that looks more like hell, So the question is, do marriages work anymore? Okay, do marriages? There is this. Oh, I am back. Sorry for that. Yeah. So we were speaking about. So there was this gentleman called Mike Oliver. Mike Oliver is was a famous man, as you know, by all standards. And if what we have heard is anything to go by, he said he slept with over 50 married women. He slept with quite a number of women, and he was doing that because he can. And because he can pay for it, and he wanted to prove that Kenyan women are loose. Okay, so let's go right into it. Let me start with, whom shall I start with?
Polo.
CW, which letter comes first? C. Okay, Cornelius. Cornelius, how are you, man?
I'm good, Mr. Dominic.
Yeah, so, and William, how are you doing, boss? Assalamu.
I'm great, thank you.
Now, yes, I'm sure maybe all of us here, maybe not all of us, but maybe some of us, or maybe considering marriage. Okay. So, what does one say Cornelius because he looks like he's preparing for marriage more than the rest of us? Cornelius, do you think marriages still work? And in this sense, we're talking about the Christian marriage, where we're talking about the monogamous marriage. Just to be sure, just to be clear, we have, of course, some viewers who could be Muslim, where the idea of marriage is one man and up to 4 women, according to the Muslim tradition. So, but you're talking about the Christian marriage, yeah? Do you think marriage still works?
Yes, let me first begin and say yes. I think marriage is an institution which was created by God, and it has been there, and it is going to be there. It's not going to end. So marriages can still work whereby maybe the two can define what they want in it or what they want to get from it. And maybe to an extent that I think to some extent, people have taken nowadays marriage to be something not that serious. And it's like we are waving or moving away from the reality that is an institution whereby you need to institute it in the altar, in the altar of the Lord, so that you get the blessings, and to continue with that struggle and that fight of marriage. So people are like not so much interested maybe in altar marriages, and we tend to go just in shortcut way. And in that we stay, we get kids, and then after that we institute the marriage, and that's not how God blessed marriage. So I think we need to go back to our first institution of marriage, that we need to take it to the altar for the blessings, and then call upon him or invoke him who gave us that institution to help us. Yes, sorry. So I was saying maybe
system ka volume iko chini.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, sawa.
You can hear?
Tunakusikia, lakini iko chini kiasi. Endelea, just go ahead if that's all that can be done.
Okay. Now, I was saying we need to go back to
Seems Cornelius has hung a little bit issues kiasi, but I forgot what Cornelius is speaking about. It's about going back to the religious roots of what marriage is all about, and possibly as he goes back, he hopefully comes, he joins us again. I'm gonna ask Cornelius. We lost you there like for the last 15 minutes. Welcome back.
I wonder. Sorry.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I was finishing the point. I have already finished. So
yeah, okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
So for you have taken a very religious, you have gone back and said, turudi Yesu.
Yes.
That's the line you have taken.
Exactly.
What about you, William?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Dominic. Yes, weddings are still working. Despite the challenges that we're facing, there are still marriages that are really working in this country. And one thing, not only in this country, but all over the world. One thing that I like is young people are still seeking the meaning, of course, the meaning of everything, and they have that eager or the zeal of joining the marriage institution, and we hope that theirs will work. And for those who are there, or those who've been in marriage before us or before other young people, those marriages that are working, I believe they are working as examples. And I believe, or I echo the word of Mr. Cornelius, that marriages are working and they will continue working even after that. Yeah.
Great. Now, what did you feel? Going back to you, Cornelius, what did you feel when you saw Mike Oliver with so many women? Was there a part of you as a man you were jealous, kiasi? Yeah? Was there, or what were your thoughts when you heard about this issue of Mike Oliver?
Well, we were just discussing before when we went live with the Kimaya. Mike Oliver is, I think he had his own agenda. And his agenda, he succeeded. Maybe, let's say, like that. And I was just telling Kimaya that my question is, if someone comes with an agenda on the table, then you need to question it. It's not about how much he has, it's not about how he is. But when he was approaching those ladies, did they question? What were they looking at? So those are the big questions we need to know. And also, you are in a marriage already, and then you go and do, or you be found in another act which is not fair or something good. So I think Mike had no issue. To me, according to me, he had no issue. My questioning goes to those ladies. Why did you accept? Is it that money is stronger than even the values which you need to uphold? So we need to go back and check that. That's my thinking.
Okay. So the question is to the ladies, as you are saying. There are some people who might take fault with that kind of a statement, where you're saying, yes, women are the problem. Okay, I don't know. This is quite debatable right there. Oh, Silantoi.
Hi.
Oh, finally. Hey.
I'm telling you, I'm having challenges. I don't know what is happening.
Don't worry. It's the whole of Kenya. Yeah, so welcome. We were actually discussing how we will end this conversation if you are not able to join. But now we are happy that you are here. Yes. Actually, we had told the viewers we want to conclude because Agnes Ilantoy is not here and we don't feel competent enough to continue the conversation. But now we are happy that you are here. Karibu sana. Yes, we are very good gentlemen. We are nothing like Mike Oliver. And that's the question actually we were having about Mike Oliver. We were asking, I want to ask you to start with this conversation. What did you think about Mike Oliver and his concubines?
Well, first of all, I was just looking out at I was looking at the photos, and I was just hoping I'll not see any of my relatives or any friend or any person that I know. Yeah, like maybe my younger sister may be among these ladies. Yeah, I had to go
Oh,
through them just to confirm none of my relatives, especially my younger siblings, are there.
let me tell you, if your younger siblings hear this video, they see
Hey,
this video, they will be calling you and they will ask you, really? That's what you think of us? Let me
no,
tell
no,
you,
no,
that
no,
is coming.
no, no, no. I'm
Ulisikia
just
wapi?
saying.
Ulisikia wapi?
Nitaruka hii video. Walisemanga unaruka Jackie Judas.
Kipetero. No, nimesikia kuna kipetero. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
At first, when he first released those photos, there is a sort of disappointment that creeps in. You wonder what drove these ladies to this. But I think we are living in a society where we all want to become rich. We all want to just be in money. Whatever is driving us or whatever is making us wake up every day is just, where will I get that money from? I know, but yes, we are all looking for that money to live, but are we asking ourselves how we are getting this money? The ways that we are using to get this money. We just want to get the money by all means, even if it means losing our dignity, so that we just get money. And when they said money is the root of all evil, trust me, the person knew what he was saying. Because the evil that has come up just because of money, it's just disappointing when you see some things that people are doing just for the sake of money. And to make it worse, it's a married person or married people who are among these ladies. It's very disappointing, very disappointing.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Now let's go straight to the question that we have posed for today's conversation. So having all these images, we had I don't know if you saw the data by the Daily Nation that was carried, I think, a year or two back, showing that there are higher rates of abortions within marriage than without. Okay. Now, of course, we don't know whether this is because people within marriage tend to report or go for safe. Let me not use the word safe at all. That's a very wrong word. Go to hospitals for abortions or anything like that, or people who are not in marriages do. You have to ask all these questions when you're interpreting data. But anyway, let's take the data we have at face value, that people in marriages are having more abortions than people without. William, we have heard about Mike Oliver. We have heard the increase in violence, the domestic violence that have increased so dramatically during COVID-19. We've heard what it means for some people to see, we see marriages that don't work. Do you honestly, without, in your honest opinion, do you think, William Kimaya, starting with you, then I come to you, Cornelius, that marriages still work, or do you think they need to be restructured or done away with?
Dominic, you're putting me in a fix by telling me out of my own honest opinion. Now,
Yes.
my honest opinion will still be that there are some marriages that are still working pretty well. And of course, some are not working. So some will still work. Some are working, and I believe some will still work. I don't know if this is the right time to answer about the question about abortion in families and all that, but pia sijui kwa nini huku nipatia chance pia mimi niongee kuhusu Mike Oliver. But I agree. I mean, my stand is yeah, some marriages are still working, and I believe will still work if we continue getting role models. If those who are going to marriages find a role model, there are marriages that are working, and if we continue having those marriages that are working well, then the future generation the future generations' marriages will work.
So, okay, is there something that you want? If you want to say something about Mike Oliver that could help in this conversation, please go ahead. Please feel free to say something about Mike Oliver.
No, Mike Oliver alicheza kaa yeye.
Alicheza tu kama yeye.
Alicheza kaa yeye. But in the real sense, I'll agree with what Cornelius said, that we will blame it, okay, or to some extent we can blame it on women. Now, Oliver had his own agendas, but again, looking at all those women, the worst part is these women were married. So somebody was asking me about, I think it is Cornelius who had a discussion in their group, and they were discussing between men and women who cheats a lot in marriages. And I told them, if men are cheating, then men are not cheating with the trees, they're cheating with women. If women are cheating, they're not cheating with doors, they're cheating with men. So we cannot value and say that men are cheating more than women. But again, what happened during Mike Oliver's time, I'll entirely blame it on women. And combining it with what Silantoya said, that we become so money-oriented to an extent that we can even sacrifice our marriages so that we go get money. Yeah, na iliniuma sana by the way. Venye mnasema, mi kwanza iliniuma. Mike Oliver, yani mtu moja 50 peke yake.
Na yeye hapo mkazana na mtu moja.
Let me interrupt you, Kima, and ask this. Have we started to think maybe there was maybe one genuine lady who was thinking she's in a serious relationship and didn't know what was happening in the background? Can we also blame this lady? Maybe for her, she was in a relationship. She was so sure this is a relationship that I'm in. It's heading somewhere, hoping. Then all this blows up to her face.
With Oliver.
Mm.
But Oliver aliwachocha. Most of them had only one night or one whatever, one chance. Most of them.
We don't know that, but I'm thinking...
No, but again, he said, so many of them, only one chance. I don't know hata kama kuna mwenye akirudia sana mara tatu sidhani. But I don't, I wasn't there.
I'm just trying to think of a situation of such a lady.
Maybe we can say yes.
So, I think the fair position is to... I don't know if it is fair to blame one side, in any case, because both people are trying to satisfy an immediate desire. Maybe the ladies wanted to satisfy an immediate desire of money or sexual pleasure, and the man wanted to satisfy a need for maybe sexual desire, among other maybe issues. So each was trying to satisfy their immediate pleasures. But what we can say, I think what we are trying to say, if I understand it well, and this is my opinion nonetheless, in the sense that the moral responsibility lies more with the women. In the very same way, kama wewe uko Nairobi, you don't go with your money hanging out, because ikiibiwa utasema, kwani siwezi tembea na pesa yangu ikiwa ina hang out kila mahali. Why am I not free to do that? You have to take responsibility because there are criminals out there. You cannot. Yeah. So,
Dominic, sorry to interrupt, but again, we can tell our viewers also to Dominic, sorry, we can also tell our viewers to contribute, because I see so many are following. So please, you can also contribute. But Dominic, I have heard somewhere that women are the one when you wanafaa kuchunga marriage more. So if these are 50 women going out with one man, are they really chungaring their marriage? Wanachunga marriage kweli? Because nilisikia women ndio wako na key, ya kuchunga marriage. But again, kama 50 of them are going out with one man, wanachunga marriage is kweli ama ni gani wanachunga ya future?
Ebu explain that to us, because umeanzia point ingine very complicated. Ebu tell us, how are women supposed to protect their marriage? Because Kimaya anaongea with Kimaya ameanza kuongea na shopkeeper. Sasa vile kule shida imeenda anaongea na shopkeeper huko. So Kimaya umeleta hii point. Kabla hujajibu moja nisikie Cornelius anasemaje. Cornelius.
Yes.
We have digressed a bit from the original conversation, which is okay, because hiyo kwamba hii maswali inaenda mahali. And
Yes.
kindly, the people who are watching this this conversation on Facebook, please feel free to be part of it. Kama vile Bwana Kimaya amesema. Cornelius,
Yes.
is it the task of women to kuchunga ndoa, as William Kimaya read somewhere in the internet?
To me, I know. I think, or I do believe, the two are part of marriage and they are involved in marriage and they should make sure that it works. It's not a responsibility of one person. It's not. So I think when you put it more on women, then you are trying to say that men, we don't need to play on the marriage issues so that maybe we get our own other businesses to do. But that's not the reality. Look, look. When you go back, I still go back to what God instituted. It's between the two. And I think he outlined very well the duties and all what we need to do as women and men. So it's not one party, it's two people working together jointly for the cause that they need to make sure that their marriage works. That's my opinion.
Okay. Lantoi.
You know, I'm looking at a scenario of a two-wheeler. What is usually two wheels? Then one wheel comes
Human
off.
being,
Bicycle.
Then you have
magurudumu mbili.
a bicycle, for example. One wheel is off, comes off. You're left with one which cannot function in a bicycle setup, cannot function per se properly. Same thing with marriages. If you look at the biblical obligation of men are supposed to love your wives. That is what you've been tasked to do. Women, you've been tasked to only respect. Maki, we don't even have a duty to love you, men. Ours is only to respect you. Our love only comes from what Jesus said, that we love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Yes. So,
According to the Bible, your husband is just your neighbor.
as we're supposed to respect, our love comes from what Jesus said, our obligation to love everyone. But that obligation of loving in a marriage setup is for men. You first have to love us. And for love has to go hand in hand with respect. You don't expect respect when, they all go hand in hand. So you cannot say that it is the duty of a woman to make a marriage. Partly yes, and partly no, because for this thing to work, both of them have to be committed. You cannot have one who is running everything and the other one who is not. Decisions have to be made by both parties in a marriage for it to work. So we cannot put one burden on another one. Moja ni punda, mwingine ni
Ng'ombe.
Iyo.
yeah.
So I hear what you're saying. So of course, respect is a form of love in any way. It's the way, so love expresses itself in different ways. When I'm pursuing justice for people, that's an expression of love. So anyway, coming back to this, so there is a sense that both men and women are responsible for the marriage, at least from what Silento is saying. There is something that I guess William wanted to say about abortion within marriages. So let's go to that particular issue so that we can proceed to yes, Kimaya. There's something you
Yes,
wanted to
sir.
say about, you want to say you don't know if this is time to respond about the question of abortion within marriages. What was your take on that particular issue?
Now, I won't take it as a blame game about this now. Now, remember, my point was not all marriages are working. So, some of the marriages that are not working, I think these are the most affected. We are seeing that most marriages, okay, most of the abortion comes from married people. And even if you look at the statistics, at the moment, the working marriages, they are less than the marriages that are not working. I mean, the one that are working perfectly, you will find that they are less than the one that are not working currently. And so that's what now leads to abortion. If you see that most of the things are not working, especially if your marriage is not working, and you already have a child, or maybe the lady is pregnant in that scenario, that will always lead to the abortion. The second thing that might lead to abortion in marriage is venye Madam Agnes amesema, kurukwa kijudas ama kipetero ama whatever, kurukwa. But again, now looking at this scenario of Mike Oliver, knowing very well that by bahati mbaya ulienda huko, and then staki kuenda your side, but again now ladies knowing very well that this child is for this person and you are in a marriage, you know very well that you went out, you got pregnant, and here you are, you know your husband, maybe husband wako pia ni mjanjizi, anazajua hizi vitu. So those are the things that zita lead to abortion in marriages, which to me I don't think is really a good idea, because you are punishing an innocent life, you are punishing an innocent person when you are doing abortion because of some mistake. But again, abortion in marriages is done simply because of mistakes and infidelity, maybe to say.
Okay. So it seems to what you're saying is abortion is just a sign of how marriages are not working. That seems to be the case. Violence and all other things, and Mike Oliver. So which takes us back to the question: is it that people do not understand what marriage is, or is it that people cannot be monogamously married? Okay, so there are people who have solved this by engaging in polyamorous relationships, which basically means many loves, if you want to say literal translation, where maybe a woman has more than one sexual partner, a man has more than one sexual partner. Could be polygamy, could be polyandry, but it also could be swinging, where there's an understanding in your relationship that you are in an open relationship. An open relationship is where legally you are husband and wife, but your wife or your husband can sleep with someone else insofar as they do not get committed to them. Okay, so all right. Do you think that people do not understand what marriage is, Silantoi? Do you think people do not understand what marriage is? And do you think then it is better therefore juu hizi mashida, wewe kama Silantoi uende utafute ndume huko nje, utafute upate watoto, ukuje ulee peke yako quietly bila kusukuliwa na mtu?
Actually, that is one thing I've seen, even with discussions with fellow ladies. That is what most people are actually opting to go for. You go out there, get pregnant, don't even tell maybe the man that you're pregnant, and just raise your kid alone, because of what we've seen happening in marriages. But I would like first to understand, why do people get married? For all these things to happen, I've come to realize that we are getting married for convenience. It's an oops marriage. I am pregnant. So what do we do next? Let's live together. Let's get married. Okay, we are not married per se, but let's now live together, which is now termed as a marriage. I like this lady because she's pretty. Her physique. I would want to stay with her. Or this man is handsome and he has money. That's why I'm getting married to him. We've lost the real meaning of marriage by why are we getting into marriage? We do not sit back to ask ourselves and to realize that this is a lifetime commitment that we're getting into. So our reasons for getting into marriage, my opinion, are what are leading to what is happening currently in marriages. So because I got pregnant and we started living together, we got married.
What has happened?
Amehang.
Silantoi amehang.
Silantoi is
I'm
hanging.
Yes.
Okay. We shall come back to that. Okay. Maybe in the meantime, Cornelius, before Silantoi comes back, you can respond to this question of whether people do understand what marriage is, and whether some of the solutions people are approaching are better, before we start asking the question of whether how we can make it work. But let's respond to that first.
Well, I think to me, if you're not ready to get married, just not go for it. I think the best thing we need to do is let us understand what marriage is. I'm not married yet, but I think I can get some facts that marriage is not a one-day activity. It's not a 2 weeks activity. It's a lifetime activity. And when it's a lifetime activity, there is a lot which we need to put together on one basket so that it works. We need to have commitment. We need to have faithfulness. We need to have trust. And those things are costly. They don't come easily. They really need someone to be sober. They really need someone to be upright. And for you to make those serious choices, it's not easy. So I think people should just, if you're not ready, just maintain your line. Let us not go for it because of what Silantoy was talking about, maybe physique, maybe money, maybe the guy is handsome, height, and whatever. Those ones don't make marriage. They're just things which will end in just few hours. And at the end, will be causing more harm to the society and the humanity at large.
Okay, great. Kimaya.
Yes, Dominic. I'm just
Silantoy
reading
anasemaje amefanya
something.
ucheke? Why did she shit?
I'm just reading something that somebody has shared here, and maybe we will read it later.
You can read it. You can read it.
Yes.
Sorry, see Corona. Now, Mr. Dominic, Senior Sergeant Karis ama Advocate Karis anauliza, hey guys, Advocate Karis here. Dominic, any book in progress? Really waiting for your piece. And then Mwihaki Wairungu ametutumia 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verses 34 to 38, and I will read it. And his interests are divided. The unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But the married woman is concerned about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. 35 says, I'm saying this for your own benefit, not to put a restraint on you, but to promote what is proper, and so that you may be devoted to the Lord without distractions. 36. If a man thinks he is acting improperly towards the virgin he is engaged to, if she is getting beyond the usual age for marriage and he feels he should marry, he can do what he wants. He is not sinning. They can get married. 37. But he who stands firm in his heart, who is under no compulsion, but has control over his own will, and has decided in his heart to keep her as his fiancée, will do well. Sasa the last one ilikuwa nacheka. So then, he who marries his fiancée does well, but he who does not marry will do better.
It's true. To some extent, yes, maybe we'll do better.
He who does not marry will do better. So, Mwihaki, maybe utatusaidia kuinterpret hiyo Bible verse kwa sababu ni tricky sana.
Maybe also, maybe Mr. Dominic, maybe you could mention something.
St. Paul used to advocate for a life that is like him, you know, for a life of marriage where people dedicate themselves fully to the service of God. So he says that final statement is in regard to that to his preaching that if you are unmarried, you will do better in your focus of the things of the kingdom of God. So it's not doing better in life generally that it is better to remain unmarried, but it's only better to remain unmarried insofar as you are remaining unmarried, so that you can focus on the matters of God fully, you know, like the way religious priests and nuns do. So it's in reference to that point. But if there's no marriages, there are no people to be born, and if there are no people to be born, there are no people going to heaven. So we have to still speak about marriage. Anyway, welcome back, Silantoy. Usiogope hata kidogo. Kitu cha ni kuogopa.
Ni technology, usijali.
Hii wifi hii wifi, wacha niongee French. Hii wifi si mama ya mtu. Inaendaga tu ikiamua kwenda. It's not married to anybody. So,
Yeah.
So Dominic, can I answer now?
So, okay, now we are actually beyond time, actually. In fact, and I'm thinking this is a conversation we should carry over to the next to Wednesday. I think we have quite more questions that I need to ask you because you people are very helpful in this conversation.
Dominic, I didn't answer the question
this is my youth. This is my youth. We need to listen to you guys.
Exactly.
Some of you have, serious ideas. So,
Dominic, I didn't answer the question.
Then we pick it on Wednesday. We continue with the conversation. I was thinking we don't close it with how the marriage should work going forward, or what we think, or people should work. I am thinking that we should stop here at this point, and then we pick it up and maybe incorporate now the question of even human sexuality and the issues of gender issues that are coming up. Then we get to talk about it more and more and expand on it. What do you think?
Mi hata sikujibu, nilisoma tu nini ya Advocate Karis na Mwihaki.
Okay. Okay, William Kimaya. Leo umesema lazima watu wa kujibu Okay, sema ulikuwa unataka kujibu swali ya yes. Let's go ahead with the answer.
Now, Dominic, as a psychologist, and I believe maybe you visited prison severally, and especially juvenile, where
William Kimaya just jibu tu swali tafadhali. Umeanza kuframe hiyo kitu, nataka kuniuliza swali. Nimekuonea 17.
No, I don't want to ask you a question, but again, I believe you will chip in immediately I'm done. Now, akiwacha kunina venye kwa nimekram hiyo kizungu vizuri. Dominic, you as a psychologist, and I believe you visited juvenile severally. And of course, we have Madam Agnes, who is also a lawyer. And maybe if you've come across these young people. And there was a time that research was done, and I think it was in Tangaza University, that they showed that most of the young people who are in juvenile, or most of young people raised by single mother, are more prone to crime than those who are raised by both parents. Now, sorry, by using single mother, but again, single parent. Most of young people, or most of youth who are raised by single parent, are more prone to crime than those who are raised by both parents. So with that, Dominic, I think that shows you that the idea of as a woman, so let me just go out there, get pregnant, and then come raise my child, to some extent, I think it's not working. Even biblically, it will not work. Psychologically, it says that for the growth of children holistically, you will need both parents, because both parents must play a role. So if you eliminate one, then with that, I believe the children will not be raised properly. So it's possible. We've seen it. That is possible, going out there, getting a child, and then coming raising the child alone. In fact, you don't even need a man nowadays. And men, we can also go there, buy or tutoe maspam, tuende tukatengeneze mtoto kwa nini na tukuje to raise watoi wetu. But again, is it the right thing? It's not. To me, it's not the right thing, because there's something that you are denying this child. Now let me just go biblically. When God created a man and a woman, when God created father and mother, to some extent kuna venye kuwa na ufala, alikuwa anafikiria na alikuwa amejua that father and mother will help to raise the children in the right way. So if at all we've decided to go our own way, yeah, we might be having some challenges in marriage. But again, remember, when you go your own way to raise a child as a single parent, you are not okay. You might be utakuwa unajinusuru kwa cost, kwa problem, but remember, you are punishing somebody. You are ruining somebody's life. Yes, Dominic. That's what I wanted to say.
That's another conversation.
Silantoi, umesikia
So
maneno ya Kimaya?
I have heard Mr. Kimara, and there is something that is playing in my head. We have instances where one spouse dies. So are you trying to say that even in the event of death of a spouse, and there are two or minor children, that they will not be raised properly by the spouse who is left?
No, Silanto is psychologically, you will be disturbed if you know that your parent or your father is somewhere or your mother is somewhere, and here you are struggling with your mother or you are struggling with your father. Unlike if you know that here is your mother struggling. Why? Because alipoteza bwanake, you will always try to work hard with your mother or with your father, or you will always to give that hand. But again, knowing that one of your parent is ako huko, hujui kama ni kisource ako na kakitu, wewe ukikapo hivyo una struggle. If you are struggling, that's what will enter into your mind, and that's what will lead now to the crime. That's what hizo ma struggle ndio zita lead to crime. But again, if you know that, okay, now you know these things are irreversible. If your parent has died, it's irreversible. You cannot reverse that one. Useme it's because alikufa tunaweza mfufua ili aweze kuni raise just the way other venye wengine wameraiziwa. But again, if you know that one of your parent is somewhere outside there, you will always be rebellious. Why? Because maybe mamako hajakwambia where your father is. So what will you do as you grow up? You will want to rebel, and you tell her to tell you the truth, or tell him to tell you the truth about your parent. But again, if she or he told you that one of your parents died, will you be rebellious? What will you be rebelling against?
No, I still don't agree with you. My opinion is that it all goes into the upbringing of this child. Even if you're bringing up this child as a single parent, the love that you're able to give this child, affirmations to this child of love, because you will not force a parent to be there for a child, especially maybe for a man. The man has decided, I'm going to be absent. I don't anything to do with that child, and you have to bring that child. It's up to you to ensure that this child has all the love that he needs. Use uncles, aunties, and grandparents and all that. Because if you're going, there are so many factors that revolve around single parenthood. And if that is we need to get that idea off our head. That's what I think.
Okay. Haya. Hapa kitu mwaga moto.
Very
Unaliza
good.
Paulo.
Nobody
Because you're
can
not going to
replace
force a
parents.
parent to be there for a child. You'll not force a man, you'll not force a lady who does not want that child. I've come left my child with the man. So what will you do? You'll not force me to stay with the child. I'll not force you to come into the life of the child. So it's time maybe we start affirming positive things to the children as we raise them up. I show them that they are loved, even if their dad left them, that there is love all around them. They'll grow up thinking differently from what the society has tuned us to think of single parenthood.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Yes. Maybe let's let me keep I have like 1,500 ideas from what these two people have spoken, but today I am moderating. Cornelius Apollo, what do you say?
me, I think we have some the truth behind what Kima is saying, and we have also the truth what Agnes is saying. So the thing is, we should not justify something because maybe something has happened. We don't do that. Maybe the way Agnes has put it, there is a reason why it happened to be a single parent, and Kimaya has also put it, maybe some part of it will be missing. But to me, I think Agnes is just right. We need to affirm the right values to those kids and make sure that they are raised in a correct manner. They have uncles, they have aunts, and they have those even church ministers who they can look up to and mentor them to be great people. So it's not about really focusing on them missing the father's part or the mother's part. It's about what are we going to do now to make sure that they live positively for the future generation. Because we are trying to save the future, not now. It has already happened, so we need to save the future. And we need to look up the people who have great values, who can impact great things to those young people, or young men, or young girls, or young boys. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I thank God that this conversation is going to continue. So I'm going to come with all the facts and the research that has been done, showing that single parenthood is really affecting. Dominic, may I read?
Sorry?
May I read what Mwihaki Wairungi has said?
Yes, yes. So that we can conclude for today, and
Yes.
then we pick it up for the next time. Yes, let us finish up with the comments from home. Really want to add wakuje na data that I'd be very glad to also hear. Yes, William, please.
Amesema Kimaya power power. Who ni supporter na si wa Gor. Amesema thank you. By the way, men are now becoming sperm donors. That issue of raising kids as single parent is very disturbing. But then again, I choose to bring them up alone than living with pain for the rest of my life. Hapo hivyo mwisho ndio. Yeah, that is Mwihaki amesema hivyo. Amesema wanaume tumekuwa sperm donors. Hey, brother, we ni brother acha kutuingilia sana lakini ni sawa.
But it's true. It's a fact.
It's true. It's, so
We shall we shall pick from this point next time. Of course, the question of sperm donors. We shall speak about the challenge of single parenthood, with Kimaya said she will be responding to. And then, of course, Agnes will speak about that. So next time, on Wednesday at 8:30, join us again as we continue with this conversation of the marriages, still work and the question of the understanding of human sexuality in our time. So we shall continue this conversation and be part of this. And you can ask a question, or you can comment, or you can even leave an opinion, and we shall be sampling them as we continue this conversation. So from youth generation impact, it has been a beautiful chance to have this conversation, and also to hear from you, the viewers who have been able to participate. And I want to thank my friends who have been here, William Kimaya, Cornelius Paul, and of course, the First Lady of Y.G.I, the one and only Agnes Silantoi.
Ai, simtafanya nilale na viatu leo jamani, eh?
Viatu na wewe, silale na jeans.
Wanakutengenezea TV.
So thanks again, guys. It has been great, and see you next Wednesday as we continue the conversation. Have a good night.
Thank you.